Okay, so let's go to the 6 questions of value-based enrollment. Right. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? What's in the way? These are the first 3 questions. These are the most important 3 questions. And you'll notice that pretty much everybody you've heard from this weekend has talked about these questions in some way. Different ways of framing it, but conscious business, conscious enrollment comes out of these 3 questions. Now, it's not a head question. I don't want you to come away with this thinking I have a checklist and I am going to sit there with my clients, and when they come in as an initial consultation, I'm going to ask a question, and whatever they say, I'm going to make a check mark. Okay, I got that one done, thank you. You know, and you know, this is not a checklist. It's a guideline for how to be very deeply in conversation with your clients. Okay? So there's a simple picture describing this. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? What's in the way? What's your now? What's your future? What's in the way? Where are you at today with all the shoulds and all of the stuff that's yucky and the way that you've been trained the business is supposed to be done? Where do you want to get to go? And what's in the way? What are the blocks? We're going to be working with that. So we're going to model these 3 questions through the time that we have together today. Okay? So one thing that's really interesting about these questions is that what people really want is usually deeper than what they think they want. Okay, so there's an art form here of helping people connect to what they most care about, to have the hope and the belief that they can really go for it, that they really can have what they want. I had a coaching client come in a year ago, and he came in saying he wanted to build a multi-million-dollar business. He had this idea for a startup company. I'm like, okay, great, I know how to do that. Let's figure out what your idea is and talk to me more about it. And every time he shared about it, I got this thud inside. Like, no, I'm not buying it. You're telling me this is what you care about? I'm crying bullshit. Like, it's no, I'm not at all. So I pushed back on him. Like, okay, if money wasn't an issue, what would you do? What's the reason why you want that? I kept questioning deeper and deeper and deeper to help him get underneath that. And he finally broke down and admitted something that he barely admits to himself, which is what he really wants most is to be married and have kids. And he had given up hope that he could do that. Right? He'd given up the possibility that he could have what he most wanted. So I'm like, great, let's talk about that. Because if we can help you even move a little bit towards that, would that be worth really investing your time and energy, and most importantly, your commitment and your courage? Right? And he said, yeah. And so we started a relationship. Actually, it was beautiful. My wife and I together got the opportunity to coach him. We made some beautiful shifts, and he's not married yet, but he's making incredible growth and progress, and we created exceptional value for him by finding what he really wanted. If I had just listened to him and had him tell me, well, I want to create this multi-million-dollar business, and helped him create something he really didn't want, we could have wasted years of his life. We could have taken him down a totally wrong path. Okay, so a big piece of master coaching and master enrollment is the same thing, which is helping people get really clear on what they most want. Max has been helping us do that this weekend. All right, the next 3 questions. What's the best solution for your needs? Why would you want to do this? And why wouldn't you? Okay? Notice that the 4th question is the one that we tend to jump to. That's the one we want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about our solution. In part because we've invested so much in it. It's like a child, and we love our child. We're very proud of our child, and we want to have the 200 baby photos that I'm sure I'm going to be carrying around soon, and I'll have a large pocket full of photos to just pull out to anybody who is willing to pause, even on the walk down the street. Let alone actually talk to me. So that's the least important of these 6 questions. Right? It's a great question. It's an important question. You've got some great stuff this weekend on how to work with that question. You'll get a lot more. It is an important question. It's one of the 6. It's an essential question. And at least for our time, I'm going to really stress it's the least important. Right? The one I want to focus on out of these 3 is, why wouldn't you want to do this? Okay? This is the question we tend to avoid like the plague. Right? Tell me your objections. Tell me why this wouldn't be a fit for you. Where's the no inside? Okay? And there is a crucial dynamic underneath what we do. Okay? How many people here do transformational work with your clients? Right? You create transformational change. Great. So I got good news and bad news. I'm not sure what the good news is. The good news is you get to do transformational work. You have the most powerful lever. You have the most powerful lever I know of for creating exceptional value. You have an unfair competitive advantage in the marketplace because you speak to the deep needs, you speak to the lever points, rather than just doing what everybody else does, which is numbing out the symptoms. Okay? So we have a ridiculous value proposition here in this room to offer to people. The solution is trivial to justify. Okay? The real question, the challenge that comes with our strength, is that the more value we offer, the bigger the yes we're going to get from people, because a piece inside, when we offer deep change and transformational value, our soul lights up and says, yes, I want that. In fact, I am conspiring to do everything I can to kick you in that direction, or love you in that direction, setting up everything in your life to support you in making deep change. Okay? And we get a bigger no. I really hear this. The bigger the value proposition you offer, the more people are going to run screaming away from you, telling you, I don't have enough time and money. Anybody familiar with this dynamic? Right? You've connected with someone, they're a perfect fit, they've admitted they're a perfect fit, you have the plan, you know what they want to do, and when it comes to committing, they say, well, I would love to do this, but. Okay? So, the biggest dynamic we have to work with is recognize that what we do is different. We have to start and end our process by figuring out how are we going to go find their no's and love their no's. How are we going to find people and help them baby step through their fears? That's one of the reasons why it's stair steps of trust and commitment. How we can create stair steps through their fears. Okay? So really good at that. I was presenting at a conscious business networking group where it was a little seminar bouncing back thing Max and I were at, and a few other people were there. Jane and Morgana, an incredible group we've got in San Francisco. I'm just so honored to be part of. And I was sharing just this concept in one of the groups, and one of the other leaders there looked at me and said, whoa, wait, back up on that one. Like, let me really hear you. What you just said is that the better I am at what I do, and the more value I offer, the better I have to be at sales in order to get clients. Really, like his whole world shifted on that one point. Okay, it really is. That's the opposite of how traditional business works. Right? If you're Walmart and you offer the cheapest prices, people beat a path to your door. In our environment, what we do, if you are the Walmart and you try to offer the cheapest prices and you have tremendous value for that, I have this problem. I way underprice my stuff. I'm still working on that one. This is my learning edge. People run away because I'm offering too much value, too much deep change, and we haven't done enough yet to build a relationship to help them through that. Okay, so really hear that. We want to avoid the sales conversation deeply. How many people would like the clients just to show up and not have to do any sales stuff at all? Right? That's the biggest dream we all have. Right? It doesn't work. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry, yes. I'm working on that. I'll reframe it. I've been reframing this one for 5 years yet now, and I haven't managed it. So when I get there, I'll throw this whole thing away and we'll try again. And by the way, that's where I started. Almost everybody in this space offers at first, not everybody, the people I started with, trying to say, okay, I've got this money conflict inside, I've got this sales conflict. They offered things like, oh, well, it's just in your head, it's a limiting belief, money is energy, you just need to think happy thoughts and get rid of the bad thoughts and snap the rubber band when you think a bad thought, and soon you'll have lots of money. And I tried it, and I heard a lot, but it didn't work. Right? I didn't have the money, and I still had even deeper conflicts about this stuff. Because now I made a bunch of money, and I still don't have these results. Okay?